Hi, my name is Amber Weber, and I'm an English education major at CSU. Welcome into my classroom. During this lesson, my students and I will revisit the novel Animal Farm by George Orwell, and with that, we will explore allegory and government on deeper levels. For my standards, I have pulled from the State Colorado Common Core standards and the technology standards. My materials, besides the basics, also include a smartboard, smartphones, iPads, and any textbooks that may be in the room. Prior knowledge is an important part of any lesson, and for mine, I'm going to be gathering upon their knowledge of allegory and government, which would have been discussed before reading the novel, and then obviously the novel. I will have an essential question for the unit and learning objectives and targets for my lesson. My essential question is, how can literary text make a statement about the real world? Learning objectives, students will understand how certain government systems work. Students will describe the problems and formulate solutions in their group work, among a couple others. My learning targets, I can work with my group to write rules that our government is supposed to follow, and I can explain why a solution does or does not align with the rules my government is supposed to follow. The purpose of my lesson is to understand the premise of the novel by Orwell. Government as a term plays an important role in the book and as a main idea. If we have students engage themselves in the text and involve them in the questions that would arise, they will understand what it takes to make the government, how it works, and why. They will understand the rules of the government, what it means in this book, and how it can be related to real life. Next is my road to success, the sequence of events. First, I'm going to have a do now. This will be incorporated into my lesson as I welcome the students in. Once they sit down, they can get started on the question that's posted on the board. Who is their favorite character in the book and why? They don't have a favorite? That's okay. Who's the most interesting to them? Next, I'm going to introduce the lesson. I'm going to tell them that they're going to be broken into groups, that they're going to make their own government, their own rules, and that they're going to work together using their characters to create that. Next, let's get started. I'm going to divide them into their groups and have them go for it, starting with discussing who is which character. Next, after they've been discussing, I'm going to make sure that they've gotten through at least the 7 commandments. If they haven't, I'll do some encouragement and help them along the way. That's my checkpoint. Then the fun part comes. I have 3 scenarios that are going to challenge their governments and maybe their collaboration as well. As they saw in the book, some things challenged their government and the government started to change. Here, we're going to look at that change. So, I will throw out these scenarios and have them talk about it. Then, as a whole group, we're going to discuss the parallels between all of the groups and the book. I'm going to have them discover what went on and what they actually did. Very last, I'm going to have a ticket out the door. This is a very simple question, such as, does your government actually work? Can it work in the real world? Why or why not? I have some differentiated learning in my lesson. While I do use technology and I do use paper formats, I also want the people who need to write stuff down be able to do that. So I created a minute sheet. So all of the ideas can be in one place, and that person can get to write. Plus, I will have them be writing on the smartboard so everybody can see their ideas, gets their juices flowing, and not everybody just sits at a desk. Next is my assessment piece. I have formative and summative. My formative is throughout the lesson and includes a do now, the minute sheet, the discussion, ticket out the door, everything that helps me gauge their understanding throughout the process. My summative would be a test or a formal writing assignment, such as a persuasive paper to another government. Success should happen throughout this whole time, but especially at the end when they see that everything is starting to come together. So through this show, you should be able to visualize my lesson, which demonstrates and builds upon their knowledge of allegory and governments. Thank you so much for watching.